once the applications do come in, they're processed on a rolling basis. I will reach out to the property owner to schedule what we call an intake call. That intake call allows us to get to know the owner a little better, while also getting more detailed information about the property. It allows us to determine whether or not the building may be a great fit for the program, along with the owners. It also allows us to maybe get a feel for what areas we can help out in terms of energy efficiency. So once that intake call does take place, then in turn we'll work with the owner or property manager to schedule an on-site assessment of the property. The assessor will be on site, will need access to tenant units. Depends on the size of the building, how many units they'll need access to, but all that is coordinated with the property owner, the tenants, and our assessor to schedule a date and time that works best for everyone involved.
So when I show up on a property, we're going to take a walk around that building. Primarily, we are looking at, do the gutters drain water away from that building, right? So it's health and safety, it's building durability. Can we work on that building and do it in a way that we don't create any other harm? We'll look at appliance efficiency, look in the attic. Often the attics are underventilated. There's maybe some water staining, moisture staining on the roof sheathing. How extensive is it? Does it need to be addressed before we make changes to the building? When we find an insulation level in the attic of an R11, right, and today's code might be an R49, we know we're going to have a very large impact, even though the tenants have had this high bill as part because of the low insulation levels. When we see that, we feel good knowing we're going to make a lot or a pretty significant impact. When we evaluate windows, again, some that are original with the building are just single pane windows that are rattlers, right, that do not seal well. A lot of them don't even lock, and that's a security concern for the community, right? So we want to support the security aspect of it. We want to improve the comfort and make sure they're operable, etc. Part of the work is often plugging the holes in a building. And plugging the holes, doing the air sealing work can create new dynamics in the building that can aggravate an existing problem. So that's really, I just want to say, is paramount for us not to do any harm when we make these changes.
We take all of that data, all of the feedback from the assessor, and that's put into what is called an assessment report. We in turn provide to the owners. It's a comprehensive document that outlines all of the observations from the assessment, gives the owners a nice little table in terms of what recommended measures could be covered under the Fitchburg funding for the program, the estimated impact of those measures in terms of the reduction in the utility burden for the tenants, or the overall reduction in energy usage for the building.
Things we look at is what is the CO2 savings outcome from this building potential? What is the potential savings to residents from this measure? What is the cost of the measure and like the cost benefit ratio to that? And also, is there a health and safety impact or benefit to it? And so then we on our side, do ranking and discussion about this, and then from there we'll come back with these we believe are the best measures, the best return on investment, the best investment in this building.
We would begin to kind of develop scopes of work that we will in turn provide to contractors to get them on site to provide us bids for the recommended measures that we want to pursue.
In terms of estimating the savings, we look at an annual savings estimate, and that's based on a data set, looking historically at other buildings and conditions within the building. Then to go forward after the implementation happens, we will request the owner and the residents provide access to utility bills. There's a release form that MG&E can provide, and then that allows us to continue tracking it and be able to be in touch too if there's questions people have. But that's the real tracking. We've seen a lot of different conditions of buildings, and we're really proud that we're able to be there as a resource and help. So We encourage people to apply to the program, whatever state the building is in. We know that owners are stretched thin. There's a very low margin of rent. We know that things have broken and they've had to take care of them. And a lot of times weatherization does not go to the top of the list, or there isn't ability to take care of the furnace or knowledge to do it. So, please do apply, and know that we are here to be a resource and to work with you, and we want the best for your residents and we want the best outcome for the building.
The experiences with the property owners, really amazing the amount of stories that I hear about this property owned or lived in this rental unit at one day and now they own that, or they've been in this community for a lot of years. They don't own a lot of properties. They're doing their best to make sure that their tenants work or live in a comfortable place, and just are really appreciative.
Most of the time the owners kind of feel like it may be too good to be true, that we can provide them with these energy efficiency measures at no cost to them. The only thing that we do require is keeping your rents at or below that HUD fair market rent value for 5 years post-implementation, and most of the time owners have no issue with that whatsoever, because their rents, as John alluded to, are already well below that HUD fair market rate, and they're in it for the same reasons we are, and the same reasons the city of Fitchburg are, is to keep that housing affordable and while making it sustainable for those residents.